7 states are moving right now to wipe out parts of the permit system. And if you hear the headline but miss the fine print, you could carry thinking you're legal when you're not. Pause. Quick question before we continue. Are you subscribed? Because what I'm about to reveal could save you from a traffic stop turning into a criminal case. Hit that button now. Today, we're talking about a story that sounds simple but really isn't. The title is urgent for a reason. Permitless carry makes people think no permit means no problems. That is not how gun law works in real life. In 2026, several states are fighting over age limits, permit rules, park bans, and local carry limits. Some changes are signed. Some are still just bills. Some got vetoed. Some are stuck halfway through the process. And that messy middle is where good people make bad mistakes. So let me walk you through the 7 states you need to watch what actually changed, what did not change, and why this matters for your daily carry right now. First, let's get one thing straight. Permitless carry does not mean carry anywhere, carry at any age, or carry under any condition. As of March 2026, 29 states have some form of permitless carry. That sounds huge, but here's the part nobody talks about. Even in permitless carry states, some places still require a permit, some places are still off limits, age rules are different, and carrying a photo ID is still a smart move. Pause. That is why this story matters so much. The fight is no longer just about whether your state has permitless carry. The fight is about the exceptions. Age exceptions, park exceptions, school zone problems, local carry rules, out-of-state recognition. And those small exceptions are exactly where gun owners get tripped up. Imagine this. Here's a hypothetical example to explain this. You're 19. You live in a state where lawmakers just expanded carry rights for younger adults. You see a big headline online. Constitutional carry expanded. You assume you're good to go. Then you drive to work, cross into another county, stop at a park, or travel across a state line. Suddenly the law you thought helped you may not help you at all. Same person, same gun, same day, totally different legal result. Most people think the danger comes only from anti-gun states, but the truth is, confusion inside pro-gun states can be just as risky during a law change. One chamber passes a bill, a governor vetoes it, a court ruling comes down. A legislature puts a vote on the calendar, then pulls it back off. Meanwhile, people online act like the law already changed yesterday. So here's the rule I want you to remember for this whole video. Headlines are not law, rumors are not law, committee votes are not law, a bill introduction is not law, a governor's signature matters, a veto matters, a court order matters, and the date a law takes effect matters even more. Now let's get into the 7 states. First state, West Virginia. This one is not rumor, this one is real. On April 1st, 2026, Governor Patrick Morrisey signed House Bill 4106. That bill expanded constitutional carry to 18 to 20-year-olds. Let me say that again, because this is a major shift. In West Virginia, the age exception just changed for law-abiding young adults. If you're 18, 19, or 20, and you can legally possess a firearm, this is the kind of change that can affect your daily life fast. But here's what most people get wrong. They hear expanded constitutional carry and assume every single restriction vanished. No, that is not the message. It means the age-based barrier changed. It does not mean every location restriction disappeared. It does not mean every other state will treat you the same. And it definitely does not mean federal rules vanished overnight. Second state, Kentucky. This one is where the story gets tricky. Kentucky already has permitless carry, so the fight there is not about creating it from scratch. The fight is about one of the big exceptions, age. House Bill 312 would create provisional concealed carry permits for 18 to 20-year-olds. That sounds like a huge win for younger adults who want a legal path to carry. But as of right now, it was vetoed on April 3rd, 2026. So why does Kentucky make this list? Because this is the perfect example of how people get confused. They see bill passed the legislature and stop reading. Big mistake. A veto means a stop. A veto means not law unless the legislature overrides it. And if you are 19 in Kentucky and you act like that bill is already active, you could be betting your future on bad information. Third state, North Carolina. This one has been dragging on, and that makes it even more dangerous. Senate Bill 50 would remove the permit requirement for concealed carry. In plain English, it would move North Carolina toward permitless carry. The Senate already overrode the governor's veto back in 2025. Sounds done, right? Not so fast. The House still has not completed the override. As of early April 2026, the bill was still being placed on the House calendar, then delayed again. And here's the crazy part. Even supporters warned that the bill, as written, could still trap well-meaning gun owners. In other words, even a bill meant to expand carry rights can create weird gaps if it is written badly. That should tell you everything about why you need to slow down and read the fine print. If you're finding this helpful, imagine what you'll learn in my next video about the 5 words that protect you when police ask about your gun. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Now let's keep going, because the next two states show how lawmakers are trying to remove the permit requirement itself. Fourth state, Michigan. A package of bills, House Bills 5653 through 5657, was introduced to make Michigan the 30th constitutional carry state. The big one is House Bill 5653. That bill removes the requirement that law-abiding citizens get a permit before carrying a concealed pistol. The related bills clean up the rest of the law so people would not be punished under old permit-based language if constitutional carry becomes law. This is the part that shocked me. Michigan lawmakers are not just talking about one small tweak. They introduced a full package to change how the whole permit structure works. But here's the warning. Introduced is not enacted. Referred to committee is not enacted. Probably going to happen is not enacted. As of now, these bills were awaiting a hearing. So if you live in Michigan, do not let excitement outrun the statute book. If that package passes, it will be a major change. But today, you still need to live by today's law, not tomorrow's wish list. Fifth state, Wisconsin. This one is huge because the bill is very clear about what it would do. Assembly Bill 609 would remove the general rule that you need a license to carry a concealed weapon in Wisconsin. That means no permit requirement for general in-state concealed carry. But the bill also keeps the license system for two very important reasons. First, reciprocity with other states. Second, federal school zone issues. That right there is the lesson a lot of people miss. Even when a state moves toward permitless carry, permits do not always become useless. In fact, they can still matter a lot. If you travel, a permit can help in states that recognize it. If you deal with school zone rules, a permit can still be a major legal tool. So when somebody says permits are dead, slow down. That may be false in a very expensive way. Wisconsin's bill had a committee hearing in January, but it still needs more steps before it can become law. So again, same warning. Don't carry off a headline, carry off the current law. Now, quick legal note. This is educational information, not legal advice. Always consult an attorney for your specific situation. Let me give you another hypothetical example, because this is where real life gets messy. Imagine you live in Wisconsin. You hear the state is going constitutional carry. You stop renewing your permit. A few weeks later, you drive across state lines and assume your old legal setup still works. But the other state doesn't care about your excitement. It cares about whether you have a recognized permit or not. That is how a misunderstanding becomes a criminal charge. And this is why I keep saying the same thing. Permitless carry is not one thing. It is a patchwork. One state removes an age exception. Another removes a location ban. Another removes the permit rule but keeps permits for travel. Another state talks big, but the bill never becomes law. Same phrase. Very different legal reality. Hey, 73% of people watching right now aren't subscribed. Don't be part of that group. Join the gun owners who get these updates first. Click subscribe. Now let's hit the final two states, because these are where the story gets even more intense. Sixth state, Colorado. Yes, Colorado. House Bill 26-1212 would give any person at least 18 years old who can legally possess a handgun the same authority to carry concealed as a person with a permit. That is a massive proposed change. The bill also says people could still get a permit for other reasons, like carrying in states that recognize a Colorado permit. It would even make permits last for life and repeal a temporary emergency permit system. But wait, there's something even more important. The bill would also repeal local government authority to regulate open or concealed handgun carry in certain ways. That means this is not some tiny paperwork bill. This would be a major reset. Now, before you get too excited, remember the key phrase, would do. This was the bill as introduced, not signed, not final, not active law just because somebody on social media said it is. If you are in Colorado, this is one to watch closely, not one to assume already changed your carry rights today. Seventh state, Tennessee. This one is complicated, and that's exactly why it belongs in this video. House Bill 2064 goes after several carry-related rules. It would remove the offense of carrying a firearm with the intent to go armed. It would also delete bans tied to public parks, playgrounds, civic centers, and other recreation property, replacing them with broader permission for people who are authorized to carry, or not prohibited from carrying, to do so in those places. Now, this is where it gets interesting. The bill was also tied to bigger debates about DUI restrictions, domestic violence rules, stalking rules, and restoring firearm rights. On top of that, reporting showed the bill was likely to be amended, and Tennessee was already dealing with litigation over some of these carry restrictions. So if you're in Tennessee, the law is not just changing through the legislature, it is also being shaped by the courts. That should set off alarm bells for every viewer. When a law change is moving through both politics and litigation at the same time, confusion goes through the roof, and confusion is dangerous. So let's zoom out. What do these 7 states actually tell you? Number 1, the real 2026 fight is over exceptions. Younger adults, park carry, local rules, permit requirements, reciprocity. Those are the battlegrounds now. Number 2, one state can be celebrating a signed expansion, while another is still stuck in committee and another just got vetoed. So the phrase "this year" matters. The fights are happening this year. The outcomes are not all the same. Number 3, your permit may still matter even in a permitless carry state. That is especially true for reciprocity and for certain federal or location-based issues. Don't make the rookie mistake of thinking a permit is worthless just because your state loosened one rule. Number 4, don't confuse possession with carry. This is one of the biggest mistakes people make. A state may let you own a gun. That does not always mean it lets you carry it concealed without extra conditions. North Carolina's debate made that point very clear. Number 5, age matters more than people realize. West Virginia changed that rule for 18 to 20-year-olds. Kentucky is fighting over it. Colorado's bill touches it. If you're under 21, or your son or daughter is, you need to pay close attention. And number 6, travel is where people get burned. Here's a hypothetical example. You live in a permitless carry state. You carry every day with no permit. Then you drive to visit family 2 states away. One state on your route honors permits. Another does not. Another has a school zone issue. Another has different age rules. If you rely on one slogan instead of checking each state, you can go from legal to illegal without ever touching the gun. This information could literally expire after the next session or the next court ruling. Subscribe now because the next video explains exactly what you need to do before that deadline hits. So here's the bottom line. West Virginia already signed an expansion. Kentucky is in a veto fight. North Carolina is still pending. Michigan and Wisconsin are pushing bills to end permit requirements. Colorado has a sweeping proposal on the table. Tennessee is fighting over carry bans in public places, while courts are involved too. Pause. The key takeaway is simple. Do not trust a headline with your freedom. Check whether the bill was signed, vetoed, delayed, amended, or still sitting in committee before you carry like the law changed. And one last thing. If this video saved you from even one bad assumption, hit subscribe right now. I make these updates so you don't learn gun law from handcuffs, court dates, or a life-changing mistake. Laws move fast, and I want you ahead of them, not behind them. Final, simple disclaimer. This video is for education only, not personal legal advice. If your situation is specific, talk to a qualified attorney in your state.